Number 14 says, a cup of raw milk, after being heated in a microwave oven to 50 degrees Celsius, contains half its initial concentration of a particular enzyme, lysozyme. You heat it in a microwave to 50 degrees Celsius, and now the initial concentration of lysozyme goes down to 50%. Okay, fine. If, however, the milk reaches that temperature through exposure to a conventional heat source of 50 degrees Celsius, so it reaches 50 degrees by being heated at exactly 50 degrees, then it will contain nearly all of its initial concentration of the enzyme. Therefore, what destroys the enzyme is not heat, but microwaves, which generate heat. This is another cause and effect argument. All right, so this is a weird argument, okay? The weirdest thing about this argument is the part where it says a conventional heat source of 50 degrees Celsius. That's the part of the argument that I think if you were really tuned in and you were really critical, you would go, wait, what? I'm sorry, what? You're heating up milk to 50 degrees using a heat source that is exactly 50 degrees? How do you do that? And also, by the way, isn't that going to take a long ass time? That's like using an immersion circulator or something, right? Where you're going to very slowly bring the milk up to exactly 50 degrees by exposing it to exactly 50 degrees. A conventional heat source in most cases is, a burner on your stove or an oven that's set to 350 or 500 or whatever. But in this case, we're doing it at we're bringing the milk up to 50 degrees at 50 degrees. And then they say, well, the microwaves are what causes the enzyme to die. And I say, maybe the microwave is a lot hotter than 50 degrees Celsius. So you're bringing, or maybe it's the speed at which it's brought up to temperature, right? A microwave is going to do this in 30 seconds, but the conventional heat source at exactly 50 degrees, maybe it takes 5 hours to bring it up to 50 degrees Celsius. And so maybe it's actually the speed at which the temperature changes that causes the enzyme to die. It's not necessarily the microwaves themselves. It could be the speed at which it's brought up to temperature. Does that make sense? And that's an alternate cause. So again, cause and effect argument. I'm attacking it with an alternate cause. It says, which one of the following, if true, most seriously weakens the argument? Victoria says that's a weaken question, because it says if true, makes it a weaken question. A, heating raw milk in a microwave oven to a temperature of 100 degrees Celsius destroys nearly all of the lysozyme initially present in the milk. I mean, if anything, that strengthens the idea that microwaves are causing the problem. I don't know, that's still microwaves killing the enzyme, so I don't see how that helps. B says, enzymes in raw milk that are destroyed through excessive heating can be replaced by, that's not relevant. And that's like genuine process right there. The answer choices are garbage. 4 out of 5 answer choices are wrong. I presume that every answer choice is wrong when I'm reading it. I'm not like, oh, I hope you're the one. Which I think most students kind of tend to do, right? Is you're like, I'm going to find the answer now, so I'm looking for, boy, I want this one to be the right one. I'm just as happy to say, hey, I got an 80% chance that this is not the answer. When it starts talking about some bullshit replacing the enzymes, what does that have to do with whether microwaves are responsible for the enzyme dying in the first place? So I don't need to read the rest of B. It's just like, no, it's not B. C, a liquid exposed to a conventional heat source of exactly 50 degrees Celsius will reach that temperature more slowly than it would if it were exposed to a conventional heat source hotter than 50 degrees Celsius. That's tempting because it's the beginning of kind of what I was talking about. But I'm looking for something more devastating than that, right? I wanted to say, and it's the speed that kills the enzyme, not the absolute, not the actual source or something like that. I feel like C is incomplete. I want a better weakener. D, Milk that has been heated in a microwave oven does not taste noticeably. Stop reading that one. E, heating any liquid by a microwave creates small zones within it that are much hotter than the overall temperature that the liquid will ultimately reach. And you know, that's not it's not completely satisfying either, because it doesn't go all the way to the right answer. But if I compare C to E, I'm going to pick E there, because E says, hey, it's not about the microwaves that magically kill the enzyme. It's that the microwave oven creates these pockets that are a lot hotter, and if heat is killing the enzymes, maybe pockets of more heat is going to kill more of the enzymes. So I'm liking E for number 14. Yeah? Okay. If you're going to go fast on the LSAT, on the logical reasoning, the one place where you are permitted to kind of go fast is in dismissing wrong answers. Not in reading the argument, not in reading the question stem, not in making a prediction before you look at the answer choices. Once you look at the answer choices, I think it's okay to be very critical and to be willing to dismiss answer choices pretty quickly without even reading the whole thing. That said, you will sometimes eliminate all 5 answers that way. And then when you do that, then you have to go back and reread them and be a little less critical, or give them a little more of a chance.